We went on the vacation of a lifetime, and it was all planned by AI. But first, let's rewind. In part 1 of the series, we put ChatGPT and Gemini head-to-head to decide where we're going on vacation. Following top tips on how to get the most out of your chatbot prompts and using new deep research LLMs, our chatbot companions helped us find as much as possible about various different locations. We want to show how anyone can use generative AI to plan a holiday, so think of this as an entry point for beginners. For more advanced users, check out TechRadar.com's regular AI coverage using the QR code on the screen. With that, let's see what AI has in store for us next. In the end, ChatGPT decided we're embarking on an AI-powered journey to Madeira, Portugal. And today, we're going to use AI travel agents to plan our activities. So who's we? Well, if you need a refresher, there's Axel, Hamish, and then there's me. Now we know where we're going, but what are we doing while we're there? Thankfully, there are plenty of AI tools to help us choose.
So we're each using a different tool to plan the itinerary. So I'm using TripAdvisor. Hamish, you're using Vacay?
Yeah, I'm going to be using Vacay.
And I'm on Layla, which is our only paid option. So we're going to each give 5 points to whichever itinerary comes out best. And there'll also be bonus points along the way for things like accuracy, how inventive it is. First to buzz gets 5 bonus points as well, because that means that you are able to both put your prompt in quickly, but also get a response quickly. However, remember, you are trying to appeal to everyone's interest here, so fast isn't always the best way forward.
So I'm trying to put extra details in the prompt in mind, so I don't have to follow up with those details later. So like one member of our party does not eat fish, or in between the activities, leave time for lunch and dinner, and then provide me with recommendations for places to eat. But I don't want to give it too much information, like examples of specific activities, because I reckon it will just give me those activities back to me, you know, like as if I'm doing all the work there.
So for me, I want to make sure that includes some of those adventurous options that I'm really keen to go on. I'm also trying to include a few relaxing options for some of my fellow travelers, because I don't want this just to be what I want to do. I need to make sure it's something all 3 of us want to do, and trying to make sure I don't fall into the same trap of before of not saying that I don't like heights and therefore being told, oh, here's something that would be great if you like heights.
I'm using the only one of our paid options today, so I'm expecting big things here. I'm focusing on photography for my prompt because that's kind of what I want mostly, so I put in that I want Instagram-worthy moments. I think generally speaking, that's going to come up with some things that work for Hamish and Axel too.
Okay, I'm done.
And then let's see how that goes.
So let's see how mine comes up.
Got my results.
Right, I'm done now.
All right, I think that's as best as I can get it. Done. So we've taken some time to look through all of our itineraries and figure out which ones are the most accurate, which ones are the easiest to do for us, and also if there's enough information in there. So Axel, you start us off then. How was TripAdvisor to use?
It's given us a nice mix of things to do. Start the day at the beach, some nice lunch options, and then kayaking, which is nice and adventurous for you guys. So I get the beach and the kayaking. The actual logistics of it is a little bit off, so I think the restaurant that it's given me is a bit further away from the beach than it thinks it is, but it has given me links to other options.
Nice. And what about you with Vacay?
When I focused on it wanting to be something a bit more adventurous, I was kind of expecting I'd get something back about like kayaking, maybe jet skiing, that sort of thing. Instead, it's giving us a lot of hiking, sort of focusing a little bit more on that scenic suggestion. I don't think you guys are going to be particularly keen that it says that it's going to be about 4 to 6 hours of hiking before lunch.
No.
Are there even 4 to 6 hours before lunch in the day?
But it does include a full day of activities, including a botanical garden in the afternoon, which should be quite fun to sort of see some of these tropical plants in bloom. And also it was very quick to give back some responses. So overall, pretty decent. I think not quite as good as TripAdvisor, unfortunately, for me.
Sadly, on my side of things, I don't think Layla's going to be much competition here.
That's the paid one.
This is the paid one. I'm genuinely quite surprised. So it's not very good at actually listening to what you want. So I've said here that I just want 1 day itinerary, and it's given me the full 4 days because it knew I'm going on a 4-day trip.
Yes.
And I had to go back and I had to give it some more information. I do like it's given me the transfer and transportation information. It's got like a nice map with the routes and stuff, but it's also just kind of word vomited to me everything that I can do there and not picked things out that are timed and dated for when you should do them.
And actually I noticed as well, because you guys both have pictures as well, some images,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas I don't have any images, so I've had to sort of go away and look at some of this stuff.
I really like how yours is laid out. I think TripAdvisor definitely wins
Yeah,
the
it's nice.
layout side of things. Layla is just just feels like affiliate link central, just messy. It's just hard to read. I can't imagine myself downloading this and pasting it anywhere else as well because it's just so cluttered.
Yeah.
Who's the winner? Drum rolls, please. TripAdvisor.
Come on,
Only by
TripAdvisor.
2 points because the Vacay itinerary did earn itself a lot of points in how quickly it came together and how well attuned it was to what you asked. But I think TripAdvisor's won ahead just a little bit for the wealth of information it had.
I also think it's a name
on
that people know and use all the time. So
Yeah.
if they have this chatbot there next to a website they're already using, like not a scary thing to start using. For the next task, we're heading back to ChatGPT to get creative with our day 2 itinerary. But first, there's a lot more to ChatGPT than vacation planning that you might not know about. For example, have you tried asking ChatGPT what it knows about you? Especially if you've had a fair few interactions with ChatGPT and provided you have its memory activated, Tom Morgan, the founder of the Leading Edge newsletter, suggested you can use ChatGPT to discover more about yourself. Specifically, he says you should ask it to tell you something that nobody else knows about you, or something that you may not even know about yourself. You can also ask ChatGPT what's going on in the world today, and it will list stories across the globe organized by continent. Using those refinement skills we learned in episode 1, you can narrow things down further by giving ChatGPT geographical boundaries. It's worth noting that it may not always be up to date, but it's like having a personalized newsletter of trends, recent events, and even the weather outlook for the next 7 days. Better yet, you can support the original writers, like us, by clicking through to ChatGPT's sources and reading the full story. Asking ChatGPT what more it wants to know about your query is a great way to save yourself some time. Just tell ChatGPT to ask any contextual questions about the request before you answer. ChatGPT will then ask you exactly how you want your request to be dealt with by getting you to answer some relevant questions, just like how we did in episode 1 with our 20-question hot seat round. The last tip is asking ChatGPT to make recommendations for you, just like this. Next up, we'll each be asking ChatGPT to make us an itinerary using limited prompts. So I've gone for, I want my vacation to be scenic, I want to see a reef, I want to go snorkeling, I'd like to sunbathe by the coast and tan, but I would also be keen to explore a scenic lagoon, and then I'm a water baby. So there's kind of a theme there. It's all about swimming and beach and sun and water.
Okay,
I just wanted to make sure that the itinerary we get, is something to do with that, which,
You
as I
don't
said,
want to leave the beach.
no, I don't want to leave the beach, but at least have something that is to do with that.
Hamish, what about your prompts? What did you go for?
I said that I want my vacation to be majestic, I want to see a waterfall, I want to go taste, and not to taste the waterfall, or maybe, who knows. My ideal vacation would be an adventurous journey where I also get to taste some great food, and I'm here to broaden my horizons. I kind of picked some of mine actually inspired by like the last challenge we just did. I actually kind of did like the hike and the talk of seeing a waterfall and all of that. I do enjoy eating and trying new things, so maybe I could get a bit of adventure on that side as well, rather than just, getting the same old meal.
I mean, I want to go taste is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was one of the options. Okay, man.
I like that you didn't change it at all to tasting. He was like, no, I want to go taste. I want to go taste. I definitely stuck with my guns a little bit on this one. So I went for, I want my vacation to be wild. I want to see a sanctuary. I went with an interesting verb. I want to go marvel.
Okay.
Again,
At
quite
something.
So what,
sightsee.
pulling out the hammer and the shield?
No.
No? Okay.
Not that kind.
Okay.
Although, all right, so we're going to put all of these into ChatGPT now, and we're going to see the 3 itineraries it comes up with. We're going to rate this based on the same sort of metric we used for the last challenge. So based on the accuracy, anything it hallucinates will lose it points, based on how relevant it is to the prompts we've given, and all that sort of thing. Well, let's see what it comes up with. We've fed ChatGPT the following prompt along with our randomized statements. I've been planning a trip to Madeira at the end of May, and I want you to come up with 3 different itineraries for my second day there. Below, I'll paste 3 sets of 4 statements. Use each of these as the basis for an itinerary. Okay, so it's asked us a couple of follow-up questions, which is fine. We're going to talk about where we're staying because it's asking us. So let's tell it where we're going to be and what we want to do. I think on this one, just like we did with the last time as well, we followed those top 5 tips for how to make a good prompt,
yeah.
and we encouraged it to ask follow-up questions, and it really does change the results you get sometimes. After that prompt, we gave it some extra tips and specifications like how many activities we wanted to do each day, our dining needs, transport needs, and then we let it rip. Okay, so we have our results. Axel, take it away with yours.
Okay, yeah, so for day 1, priorities, scenic reef, snorkeling, sunbathing, lagoon, all the things that I asked for. So in the morning, drive to Ponta de São Lourenço. So that's a snorkeling boat tour, which is right on my street, and also kind of adventurous-y for you guys.
Yeah.
It's not just sunbathing by the water, that is a sort of crossover. Afternoon right on my street, lounge and sunbathe at the Mochico beach, which is good because we're having lunch in Mochico, so that clearly is right next to it, so it hasn't made any logistical errors there. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the things that I wanted to do, that pretty much hits all of them.
And it even gives a few pros and cons as well, like it says that snorkeling will be good good because there'll be minimal waves in May.
Ah, that is useful information.
Okay, yeah, so it's taken like seasonal context.
And then Hamish, what about your one?
So in the morning, it says we should drive to Vacay, which is about 1 hour 15 from Funchal. So that's like not too much of a drive, I guess. And then it wants us to hike the Levada das 25 Fontes, which it says about a 3-hour round trip.
Much better than 6
Which
hours.
is a lot better than 6. And it says it's gentle but immersive as you walk through a lush laurel forest, ending with a dramatic lagoon waterfall. Oh, it then says it wants us to go to the Aero do Cerrado viewpoint on the return. I guess is thinking about us going back to Funchal and sort of things we can do on that drive to break it up. And then finally some good dinner options as well.
So my day is the Viral Adventurer. I think that's a great name. I think that's quite fun. Mine starts us off in Funchal Old Town, doing a stroll down the Rua de Santa Maria with its painted doors, taking photos of the Mercado de Labradores, which is a colourful fruit and fish market. After that, it wants us to go to the Cabo Girao Skywalk, taking dramatic photos on the glass platform 580 metres above sea level. How's that for your fear of heights?
I might say it's sort of off the skywalk, but we'll see. Maybe when I get there.
In the car.
We can take the cable car up to Monte Palace and then ride the famous wicker toboggan sledges downhill.
I've seen some pictures of those when we've been
That does
looking
look
at
quite
Madeira.
cool.
Yeah.
That does look quite cool. I think it's done really well here, to be honest. It's got everything I need. It's got the cool and quirky content that's going to be great for Instagram. It's got lots of photo-ready settings from the cliffs and the gardens to the urban side of things. Toboggan ride is quite touristy, it says on the cons, but you're going to Funchal. You've got to get the toboggans. And Skywalk may be scary if you dislike
Appreciate
heights.
ChatGPT giving me some support.
We used the same point system from the last challenge to score our 3 options, and the scores on the doors said...
Before we get to that, let's talk about staying safe online in the age of AI. From new AI scams to increased cybersecurity risks, the internet has never been more volatile. When you're booking a vacation, the last thing you want to do is share all of those personal details with bad actors. That also means there's never been a better time to invest in your online security, which is where our sponsor for this video series comes in. I sat down with Siggy Steffensen, cybersecurity CTO at Norton, to learn more about online safety in the age of AI. So Siggy, can you tell us how cyber criminals can use travel data to target users?
So the way it works is that, for instance, if a criminal knows where you're, effectively knows that you're somewhere else, they could, for one thing, they could target your house. So for instance, if you're putting out information that you're traveling or staying anywhere else, it is unfortunately a perfect moment to go and basically rob you. If they know where you are, they could have targeted scams hit you where it's based on the location you are. And that could be everything from a scam to get you to pay something or go somewhere where you don't really want to go.
And then can you explain how AI scams can target travelers?
You can get everything like fake insurance or, again, like fake bookings. You're booking, you want to see this particular show and you go to a fake website. And the way AI has become, it's almost impossible for anyone to recognize it. You need some form of tool to help you to actually be able to detect it.
And what are some good reasons for why you should use a VPN on vacation?
So the first thing you want to do when you go into a restaurant or a hotel and you connect to their Wi-Fi, you want to turn on the VPN. You want to ensure that everything you do there is private and protected. So the way it works is that you're creating effectively like a secure tunnel. So all your data now flows through this secure tunnel that nothing else can actually access. Without turning on VPN in an environment like that, like an environment like restaurant and so on, pretty much everyone in there could, in theory, access your data. By turning on a VPN, you're closing that loop.
Thanks, Hamish, and thanks to our sponsor for this episode, Norton. Now, back to the vacation planning. We've done all the points, we've had a chat among ourselves, and we have decided, Hamish, your one is the winner.
Well done.
Very excited.
I think your day was super similar to the one before because we've got a lot of the water activities
And
in there.
it's really water.
Well, that boat tour did sound cool and that other town sounded cool. It's nice to go somewhere different. I think it's quite good to have more direct relation to where we are in Funchal. However, I think we will pick up some of the stuff from my itinerary for one of our other days on the trip because it sounds like a lot of great fun. And we are ready to go to Madeira. Join us next time to find out what AI has in store for us and which phone is the best to take on your next vacation.